Live, yeah. Yes, this is SFS for Wrestling Podcast continued. I just got myself a new motherfucking microphone. It took me motherfucking ages because I hate doing all this fucking computer tech fucking bullshit and all this social media fucking bullshit. All of it can suck my dick, all you corporate owning motherfuckers. Anyway, this is about wrestling. And no, I like to think of myself as a casual fan. Yeah, I'll go on about the backstage fucking shite. But, in reality, I don't give a fuck. You know why? And I'll tell you why. Because I've got my own fucking life and my own fucking problems and my own fucked up way of thinking. So I don't need anybody else's problems. But I will address them. But my opinion does not mean shit. So I tried to record King of the Ring 96, but it came out really blushy. It was a very good pay-per-view as part of the show. Recorded it about an hour ago. Quickly ripped down to the shop to get some fucking a microphone. And yeah, I swear a lot. It's just my nature. I'm not trying to be hip or anything like that. It's just the way I talk sometimes. Anyway. So this part will be on Elimination Chamber and Raw review. Latest news in wrestling. I'm not like the other podcasters out there. I am not over analytical. I am not going to mark out. And if I see something that I didn't like, I'll just fucking turn the TV off. Okay? But it's a very interesting time if you're a wrestling fan. I'm usually a wrestling fan between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania since WrestleMania 17. Back during the, what they call it, the Attitude Era, I watched all the time and everyone at my school did. And to say that wrestling is more popular today is completely ludicrous. Wrestling is not more popular today. It might be doing better business than ever because it likes to rip people off, and like any capitalist or communist fucking company does, any wokeism or capitalism, it ain't for me. Any left ring, white ring bullshit ain't for me. It's all bullshit, as you know. And obviously WWE are capitalising on it, right? And I'll just go through the first fucking Netflix show, shall I? It weren't about wrestling to me. That show, a lot of people are mad about that show. I don't go online, but, you know, you can't help but hearing it on fucking YouTube, all these fucking guys going, but yeah, that was the worst fucking wrestling show that I have ever seen in my life. Not because of the wrestling. It was nothing to do with wrestling. It's because of the fucking corporate capitalism suck up. You know, the fucking Rock getting in and sucking fucking Netflix dick. And sucking whoever, Ario or Manuel or Nick Khan's fucking dick. I'm like, suck this fucking corporate dick sucking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan of the Rocks, but believe me, man, you know, once you go that corporate route, you're just one of them. You're one of the elites. And that's why I love this storyline that they're doing right now. And this, what the whole world is talking about is the John Cena heel turn. And I'm going to see where this story and hopefully where this story will go. Because I think they've got magic in their hands right now with that. You know? People saying, is it the greatest heel turn? You don't know yet, do we? Obviously, it's not the same as Hogan's heel turn. And the fact that there was trash thrown in the ring and they followed that up the next week with vignettes and storylines and they create the whole NWO. Right now, we don't know. Obviously, we know it's John Cena's farewell tour. And probably he will be turning babyface before the end of the year, before the tour is over. But for now, we don't know. We don't know what John Cena is going to do. You know, where the story is going to go. Hopefully, you know, if I was booking, which I can easily say because I'm not there, you know, the point is with bookers is you got to deal with loads of fucking talent and other people's ideas. So a lot of people, when they say, oh, I'd book this or book that, if you look and you go inside the wrestling business, it's easy saying that, but you got to deal with a whole lot of fucking talents that are going to disagree with you, or another guy's got another creative idea, because I know they've got a big creative team right now. It weren't like back in the day in the Attitude Era when you just had Cornette and Russo and Pritchard and all them. You got a big team now, so they're going to be flying about ideas everywhere. So it's very hard, kind of, to book a right show. But my problem with wrestling today is the fact that 3 hour fucking show. Raw every week is a 3 hour fucking show. SmackDown now is a 3 hour show. It doesn't matter with anything. For pay-per-views, which they call premium live events now, I can cope with that. That's what premium live events are for. Get the 3 hour shows in there. That's what they used to do. But Raw at max, all you need is 2 hours at max to get everything in there. And I'll go on a bit, I'll ramble on about that a bit later. But I'm going to talk about the John Cena heel turn, hopefully. I'm a bit, I'm not going to rush through this, but, I do other things in my life. I'm writing a book at the moment and doing a lot of training, physical training and stuff, so, and the work on myself, the consciousness fucking shit. So, I've got, my time, I might not be able to cover everything, but I try to in the most entertaining and craziest way I can. And I hope I offend every fucking bastard. Because I'm flipping out. Flip side? What about him? Is that right? Oh, buddy boys. Anyway, I've got a section of this podcast where I will be talking shit, not about wrestling. Yes, that'll come at the end of the podcast, okay? Right, first, we're going to cover something that doesn't really mean nothing to anyone, really, but in wrestling, it's a very small thing, but because I like Dutch Mantel so much, and I like Dutch's podcast so much, and it's great that he's back with James right now. He's just done a podcast. Dutch has one of the best minds for the business, in my opinion. Just watching him go on, and he's a great storyteller, and James, that happens to come from the same city as I come from, is doing a great job, interviewing wrestlers and that. So, yeah, if there's any wrestling podcast I'd recommend, I'd say that Dutch Mantel comes right at the top. And then he had the Jim Cornette Experience and the Raven Effect, which they don't really talk about wrestling, but they just talk shit, which I dig. If you dig, I'll dig your fucking grave if you fuck with me. Anyway, let's get into Dutch Mantel was very ill recently. Was Dutch Mantel. And the fact of the matter is, this fucking journalist that's been doing wrestling for over 30 years now, most of the shit, if you read it, he's not got right. And he does the dirt sheets. Yeah, he's been in the game for a while, and he is the biggest worker, if you would say that. He's probably a better worker than Hulk Hogan, because all he's done is sit his fucking old ass in a chair for all his life and speculate his ideas on wrestling, and backstage news or whatever. I don't have a problem with when he talks about the business side or anything like that, right? I don't have a problem anywhere. I just don't agree with him. It's different. So having a problem with someone, not agreeing with them. But I don't agree with the fact of his star rating system, because everyone has their own opinion. You can like an Ultimate Warrior Hogan match and give that a 5-star, or you don't like them kind of matches, them gimmick matches where the characters and storyline are much more important than the in-ring, And obviously we know where Dave Meltzer lays. He lays in Japanese wrestling, this over-the-top in-ring shit. And it's like, I like great in-ring wrestling, don't get me wrong, but when it's done too fucking much, it just doesn't work. And WWF and like ECW in the 90s, they pretty much did it all. So it's very hard, you know, to see anything new in wrestling today because of the Attitude Era and ECW, in my opinion. That's why we haven't had a boom period in wrestling. That's really the great thing about what they did last year at WrestleMania, what they did with the Bloodline story, and what they did with the heel turn. It's very fucking hard because of all the internet to come up with a storyline that's going to shock people, especially a wrestling storyline. It's all on the fucking internet. Like, the internet has killed the business. But yeah, David Meltzer is like at the head of that, and he's very pro AEW, which I do not watch AEW. I haven't got time, and by what I'm hearing about it, I haven't watched it, so I can't pass any judgment on it. It's a bit too much, too many high spots, bit like a video game wrestling. There's no authentic characters, even though MJF, in my opinion, was one of the best wrestlers in the world. I don't know what he's been doing the past 2 years, but what I've heard, he's kind of eased down. Maybe he needs to go to WWE because he is a great fucking talent. What he did with CM Punk like 2 years ago was great, in my opinion. But yeah, Dave Meltzer, a lot of people, I think, feed him false information, and over the past couple of years, especially, same with what happened to Vince McMahon. Like, Vince McMahon was a sharp guy and a great creative guy, probably one of the best. You got to give the devil his due. Vince McMahon was the head of wrestling's best times, which was in the 80s and the Attitude Era. And Vince McMahon was the mastermind. Yeah, he might have had Russo or helping him, or, Jim Ross dealing with the talent and all that, but, it's Vince. You got to give the devil his due. But yeah, Vince in the past couple of years has become demented, and that's what I think's happened with Dave Meltzer, because he just can't admit that he's wrong. And I've got no problem with anyone liking AEW. You can like AEW to your heart's content, but he's got an agenda. Either he's got an investment, a financial investment in the company, or he's very, very close with Tony Khan. Because I think that Tony Khan is booking for Dave Meltzer. And you hear that on a lot of podcasts. Anyway, sorry, I didn't get to the fucking point. I'm new to this shit. Anyway, Dave Meltzer said something about Dutch